Are you curious about the lost knowledge that has been suppressed from Black people? Do you question the historical connections between Blacks in America and the ancient Hebrews? If so, you're in the right place. This video will explore these burning questions, providing an in-depth exploration of a captivating topic. Prepare to embark on an enlightening journey as we uncover the historical events and factors that contributed to the loss of this knowledge. We'll examine the striking cultural and historical similarities between Blacks in America and the ancient Hebrews, leaving you wondering if there's more to these connections than meets the eye. We'll explore the role of the Bible in shaping these perspectives and discuss the steps we can take to further validate this fascinating connection. In our exploration of the historical connections between Blacks in America and the ancient Hebrews, it's imperative to first address the concept of suppressed knowledge. Throughout history, various factors have contributed to the loss of crucial knowledge within Black communities, obscuring their cultural heritage and identity. One of the most significant contributors to this suppression is the legacy of slavery. For centuries, enslaved Africans were forcibly removed from their homelands and transported to the Americas, severing ties to their ancestral traditions and histories. The brutal conditions of slavery often resulted in the erasure of cultural practices and the suppression of indigenous languages and beliefs. Furthermore, the process of colonization further entrenched the suppression of knowledge among Black communities. European powers imposed their own cultural norms and religious beliefs upon colonized territories, marginalizing indigenous traditions and relegating them to the fringes of society. In addition, systemic oppression from Jim Crow laws to mass incarceration has also played a pivotal role in perpetuating the loss of history. Discriminatory laws like redlining, along with pervasive racism, have contributed to the erase of Black history and narratives of their contribution to world history. In essence, slavery, colonization, and systemic oppression have collectively served to suppress the cultural heritage and identity of Blacks in America, obscuring vital connections to their ancestral past and contributing to the dissemination of misinformation. Understanding these historical factors is crucial to unraveling the layers of suppression and reclaiming the lost knowledge that lies at the heart of Black identity.
Psalm 83, verse 1 through 4. Keep not thou silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
As we search deeper into our investigation, it becomes evident that there are striking parallels between the experiences of Blacks in America and the ancient Hebrews. These parallels offer profound insights into the shared cultural heritage and identity of these two seemingly disparate groups. One significant aspect to explore is the similarity in cultural practices. Despite being separated by time and geography, both Blacks in America and the ancient Hebrews have exhibited cultural traditions that resonate with one another. From storytelling and oral traditions to music and dance, there are remarkable resemblances that underscore a shared human experience. For example, the call and response style in African American spirituals mirrors the communal singing found in Hebrew Psalms.
John 5, verse 4. For an angel went down at a certain season into the pool and troubled the water. Whosoever then, first after the troubling of the water, stepped in, was made whole of whatsoever disease he had.
but not the soul. God's gonna trouble the water. You've got to wait.
Psalm 137, 3. For there they that carried us away captive required of us a song, and they that wasted us required of us mirth, saying, Sing us one of the songs of Zion.
You're gonna jump! You're gonna stretch your limbs! Work your muscles!
Palinkeolu aliedong, tubabo kijo kanabo, wayo aliedong, wayo aliedong. Miso minyo dan kilola madinka musa ibiming. Wayo aliedong.
Wayo barikeyo balu di mala ningano.
Baring muso yamira ko and singing muta muta no wayo marikulu aliedong.
Fani tambita sasangola kidi bamuta kunchi ofa.
Wayo.
Both communities have rooted oral traditions. The transmission of stories and histories through oral traditions is a common thread between the two groups. Griots in African cultures and scribes in ancient Hebrew society serve similar roles in preserving and passing down cultural knowledge. A griot is a West African storyteller, singer, musician, and oral historian. They train to excel as orators, lyricists, and musicians. The griot keeps records of all the births, deaths, marriages through the generations of the village or family. This is the same methods Black rappers use today in America. Spiritual beliefs also offer fertile ground for exploration. Both Blacks in America and the ancient Hebrews have rich spiritual traditions that intertwine with their cultural identities. Long before the arrival of European slave traders, West Africa was a hub of monotheistic religions and spiritual beliefs. Among these, monotheistic traditions played a significant role in shaping the spiritual landscape of the region way before Christianity entered the region. Archaeological evidence suggests that monotheistic beliefs were present in West Africa as early as the 8th century CE. The Igbo people of West Africa are known for sharing numerous cultural and religious practices with ancient Israelites. Their monotheistic religion centered around the worship of a single deity named Chukwu mirrors the beliefs of ancient Hebrews. Additionally, the Igbo people hold a strong belief in a covenant between God and their people, reminiscent of the Abrahamic covenant found in the Bible. As we continue to unravel the historical connections between Blacks in America and the ancient Hebrews, let's focus on some specific evidence that sheds light on this fascinating topic. One compelling area of study is the search for the lost tribes of Israel, a quest that has captivated scholars and historians throughout history. One intriguing theory posits that the Igbo people of West Africa are descendants of these ancient Israelites who fled their homeland during the Babylonian exile into West Africa. Prominent Igbo figures, such as King Eri, claim that the Igbo are the Jews of West Africa, tracing their lineage back to the biblical patriarch Jacob and his son Gad. Some Igbo oral histories and cultural practices, such as circumcision, dietary laws, and mourning customs, have been noted as bearing striking similarities to Jewish traditions, lending credence to this theory. The Igbo people possess a rich oral tradition that traces their origins back to the Middle East, specifically a land they call Izuama, or the land of the sea, corresponding to ancient Israel. Linguistically, the Igbo language exhibits striking similarities to Hebrew, with shared roots and phonetic patterns that hint at a deeper connection. Comparative studies of Igbo and Hebrew reveal shared linguistic roots and phonetic patterns that defy coincidence. Words and sounds that appear in both languages hint at a deeper linguistic and cultural exchange that occurred in antiquity. Recent genetic studies have bolstered the link between the Igbo people and the lost tribes of Israel. A 2009 study published in the American Journal of Human Genetics revealed that the Igbo people carry a unique genetic profile closely related to Jewish populations. Notably, they exhibit a high frequency of the haplogroup E1b1a, commonly found among Middle Eastern and North African populations. The connection between the Igbo people and blacks in America gains further significance when considering the transatlantic slave trade. Millions of Africans, including a substantial number from the Igbo region, were forcibly transported to the Americas during the 17th and 18th centuries. These enslaved Africans brought with them their cultural and religious traditions, which influenced the development of African American culture and spirituality. And additional genetic studies have provided valuable insights into the African ancestry of African Americans. Research has shown that a significant portion of the African American population carries genetic markers that are closely related to the Igbo people of Nigeria. Professor Philip Emeagwali, a Nigerian computer scientist who's known for his studies on the Igbo ancestry among African Americans. He suggests that a significant proportion of African Americans, possibly around 60%, may have Igbo ancestry based on his research in African genetics and history. The scriptures in the Bible have been a subject of immense interest and debate when it comes to the origins and lineage of various ethnic groups, particularly in the context of African Americans. The idea that blacks in America are related to the ancient Hebrews has been a topic of discussion among scholars, historians, and theologians for decades. This theory, often referred to as the Hebrew Israelites movement, presumes that the African American population is directly descended from the ancient Israelites, and that the Bible provides ample evidence to support this claim. Now let's use the word of Yah as evidence to identify the children of Israel and determine if African Americans fit the biblical prophecy.
Deuteronomy 28:64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
This verse describes a dispersion of the Israelites among all nations, where they will serve foreign gods. For Black Americans, this mirrors the forced migration and dispersal during the transatlantic slave trade. Africans were forcibly taken from their homeland and scattered across the Americas, where they were subjected to the religious practices of their oppressors.
Deuteronomy 28:68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
The prophecy of returning to Egypt with ships symbolizes the journey of enslaved Africans to the Americas. They were sold into bondage, echoing the brutal conditions of slavery endured by Black Americans on plantations and in labor camps, and even until this day, no man have redeemed or saved them from their place of captivity.
Deuteronomy 28:49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
Deuteronomy 28:49. is a reference to a nation coming against the Israelites swiftly with an unfamiliar language, resonates with the arrival of European colonizers in Africa and the Americas. The imposition of colonial rule and the suppression of African languages and cultures parallel the experiences described in this verse.
Deuteronomy 28:48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck, until he have destroyed thee.
The prophecy of serving enemies in hunger and want reflects the harsh realities of slavery and systemic oppression faced by Black Americans. They were deprived of basic rights and subjected to inhumane conditions, reminiscent of the servitude described in this verse that the Israelites would receive due to their disobedience and not keeping Yah's commandments.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 45 and 46. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearken not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
The enduring impact of slavery and oppression passed down through generations serves as a testament to the fulfillment of this prophecy. The struggles and resilience of Black Americans continue to be a sign and wonder, bearing witness to the injustices endured by their ancient Hebrew ancestors. For centuries, other nations have known what would happen to the children of Israel if they were obedient to Yah's commandments.
Deuteronomy 30:2, 3, and verse 7. And thou shalt return unto the Lord thy God, and shalt obey his voice, according to all that I command thee this day, thou and thy children, with all thine heart, and with all thy soul. Verse 3. That then the Lord thy God will turn thy captivity, and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations, whither the Lord thy God hath scattered thee. Verse 7. And the Lord thy God will put all these curses upon thine enemies, and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee.
The promise of divine intervention to turn captivity and gather the scattered Israelites resonates with the hope for liberation and justice among Black Americans and all scattered throughout the diaspora. This verse offers comfort and assurance that God will ultimately redeem and restore his chosen people. As we've explored the profound connections between Blacks in America and the ancient Hebrews, we have uncovered a tapestry of cultural, historical, and spiritual threads that bind these communities together across time and space. From the echoes of ancient traditions and modern practices to the striking parallels in their historical narratives, it is evident that there is much more to these connections than meets the eye. The legacy of suppressed knowledge rooted in the tragedies of slavery, colonization, and systemic oppression has long obscured these vital links. Yet as we have seen, the resilience and rich cultural heritage of Black communities have persevered, holding on to fragments of this ancient lineage. The historical, linguistic, and genetic evidence we have discussed offers a compelling argument for a shared heritage that has withstood the test of time. Moreover, the biblical prophecies and scriptures we've examined provide a powerful lens through which to view these connections, shedding light on the enduring impact of this shared history. The resilient spirituality and cultural richness of Blacks in America echo the experiences and traditions of the ancient Hebrews, suggesting a deep and meaningful bond. As we continue to reclaim this lost history, it is crucial to approach these findings with a spirit of curiosity and open-mindedness. By delving into these connections, we not only honor the past, but also empower future generations to understand and celebrate their rich heritage. Thank you for watching, and remember, the journey to uncovering truth and reclaiming Israel's identity is a collective effort. Let's keep the conversation going and strive to bring this hidden history into the light. Until next time, may your journey of discovery be enlightening, and know the struggle is real.